What if I told you that getting a man sexually addicted to you has nothing to do with how you look, and everything to do with how you make him feel? When you're near him, when you touch him, and even when you're not around. This isn't about playing games. It's about tapping into a deeper kind of attraction that lingers in his mind, his body, and his emotions long after the moment has passed. When it comes to making a man sexually addicted to you, one of the most overlooked truths is that physical attraction alone isn't enough. You can have a stunning body, wear the most revealing clothes, and know all the right moves in the bedroom, but if there's no emotional connection, it'll always be a temporary high for him, not an addiction. Real desire, lasting, intense, and obsessive, starts in the mind, not just the body. This is where emotional connection comes into play. When a man feels deeply understood, appreciated, and emotionally stimulated, the physical intimacy becomes more than just an act. It becomes a meaningful experience that he craves again and again. Men may not always articulate it, but they long for someone who sees beyond the surface, someone who connects with their deeper side, who listens without judgment, who makes them feel both strong and vulnerable at the same time. When you create that kind of space for a man, something changes in the way he sees you. You're no longer just attractive, you're irreplaceable. He starts to associate being around you with emotional safety and a sense of personal significance. And when that kind of emotional foundation is tied to sexual chemistry, the desire becomes much more intense. It's no longer just about pleasure, it's about feeling alive, wanted, and emotionally fulfilled. This kind of connection doesn't happen through deep conversations alone. It also comes through small, consistent moments. It's the way you look at him when he's talking about something important to him. It's the way you remember the little details he shares. It's how you support him without trying to fix him. These actions tell a man, consciously or subconsciously, that you're emotionally tuned in, that you're not just there for what he gives you, you're there for who he truly is. That realization builds trust, and when a man trusts you emotionally, he relaxes into intimacy. He doesn't hold back, he lets go. And when a man lets go, his sexual experience with you becomes more intense, more vulnerable, and more memorable. Many women believe that being sexually addicted means being wild, exciting, or overly seductive. While those things can help in the moment, what makes a man come back? What makes you linger in his thoughts long after you've parted ways is how he felt when he was with you. Was he seen? Was he accepted? Was he inspired? If the answer is yes, then you're not just another experience, you become the experience. And when sex is layered on top of that emotional bond, it becomes an experience he wants to relive over and over. You're not just making love to his body, you're connecting with his soul. You're creating something that feels rare in a world full of superficial interactions. And that's what makes it addictive. It's not just chemistry, it's depth. It's not just skin, it's substance. And once he's tasted that kind of emotional intimacy combined with physical closeness, it becomes the standard. Other experiences pale in comparison. You become the one he measures others against. You become the one that lingers in his imagination, the one he keeps coming back to in his thoughts, his fantasies, and ultimately his life. Because when a man is emotionally connected to you, the sexual desire doesn't fade, it deepens, it grows. And that's when you know you've truly captured not just his body, but his entire being. Confidence is the foundation of sexual magnetism. It's not about how you look, what you wear, or how perfect your body is. It's about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you respond, and how much you believe in your own worth. A woman who radiates self-assurance becomes instantly more attractive, because confidence signals value. When a man sees that you know your worth, it automatically raises your value in his eyes. You stop being someone he can impress with superficial charm or empty gestures. You become someone he wants to impress, someone he feels lucky to even have a chance with. Confidence creates a certain kind of energy that can't be faked. It shows up in the way you walk into a room, how you hold eye contact without flinching, and how you smile like you know a secret the world hasn't figured out yet. It's in the way you take your time speaking instead of rushing to fill silence. It's in the way you don't overshare, oversell, or over-explain. That kind of presence makes a man lean in. It makes him want to know more. It makes him wonder, what makes you so sure of yourself, so composed, so different from everyone else? One of the most powerful things about a confident woman is that she doesn't need validation from a man. She chooses connection from a place of strength. That alone shifts the power dynamic. In most relationships, especially early on, people fall into roles. A man may expect the woman to seek approval, to be overly available, or to mold herself into what she thinks he wants. But a confident woman flips that script. She doesn't chase. She doesn't try too hard. She doesn't perform. And ironically, that's what makes men chase her. Her confidence forces him to bring his best self forward, to earn her attention rather than assume it. Sexually, this plays a huge role. A confident woman is comfortable in her own skin. She's not ashamed of her desires or embarrassed by her body. She doesn't look for permission to express herself. That freedom is intoxicating. A man can sense when a woman is fully present and unapologetic in her sensuality. It makes him want to explore her, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. Her confidence creates an environment where he feels more liberated too, where he can drop his own insecurities and just be in the moment with her. Confidence also sets boundaries. A woman who respects herself teaches others how to treat her. She doesn't allow games, disrespect, or lukewarm effort. She has standards, and she sticks to them. But here's the key. She does it without bitterness, anger, or drama. She simply walks away from what doesn't align with her value. That quiet, graceful strength is more powerful than any argument or demand. It tells a man that she's not afraid of being alone. She's afraid of settling. And when a man realizes he could lose her if he doesn't rise to her level, it lights a fire. It makes her unforgettable. It makes her the woman he wants to prove himself to. Confidence is what keeps a man intrigued long after the initial attraction. It's what makes intimacy feel exciting instead of routine. It's what keeps the chase alive even after he's had you. Because the moment he feels you could walk away at any time, not out of spite but out of self-respect, is the moment he starts holding on tighter. Confidence, when genuine and grounded, is not arrogance or attitude. It's a quiet power. It's the unshakable belief that you are already enough. And when you own that belief fully, you become the kind of woman no man ever forgets. Seduction is not about how much skin you show or how forward you are with your words. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that being overtly sexual is the fastest way to get a man hooked. But real sexual addiction doesn't come from what's obvious. It comes from what's implied. It's built through suggestion, through subtlety, through moments that spark imagination and leave room for curiosity. The truth is, what a man can't immediately see or fully understand is what keeps him coming back for more. It's the mystery, the playfulness, the tension you create by not giving everything away at once. When you flirt with a sense of restraint, when you drop hints without spelling things out, you allow a man's imagination to run wild. And that's powerful, because a man's mind is where true desire takes root. The way you glance at him, the timing of your touch, the softness of your voice, these things speak louder than any explicit invitation. They suggest depth. They create emotional friction, a kind of push and pull that keeps him on edge, wondering what's next, craving more interaction, more moments with you. That slow burn is far more addictive than immediate gratification. The art of subtle seduction starts long before physical intimacy even happens. It begins with the way you carry yourself. Are you fully present when you speak to him? Do you look into his eyes, just long enough to make him feel something, but not long enough to give everything away? Do you play with your words, using humor, suggestion, and a bit of cheeky wit? All of these things create layers in his mind. He starts building a fantasy around you, not just about your body, but about your presence, your mystery, your energy. And fantasies, once sparked, are incredibly hard to shake off. Being subtle also shows self-control, and self-control is sexy. When you aren't throwing yourself at him, when you aren't trying to prove anything, it signals confidence. It tells him that you know your worth, and that intimacy with you is something special, something he has to earn, that makes the experience of being with you feel more valuable. He'll find himself replaying conversations, remembering your laugh, wondering what you meant when you said that one thing with that little smirk. He won't just remember what you looked like. He'll remember how you made him feel. And that emotional imprint is what forms the addiction. Even in physical intimacy, subtlety can be more powerful than intensity. Slowing things down, creating anticipation, being unpredictable. These are tools that keep a man engaged. You don't need to be loud or aggressive. Often, a soft touch in just the right moment, a whisper that hits the right nerve, a pause that makes him beg for more. Those are the moments that drive him crazy. Those are the things that stay with him long after he leaves. Because subtle seduction is about impact, not volume. It's about timing, energy, and the contrast between restraint and release. When you make a man work a little to figure you out, when you leave breadcrumbs instead of handing him the whole cake, you become a puzzle he wants to solve. You become the story he wants to finish, the moment he wants to relive. And that's the secret. Real sexual addiction isn't created in loud moments. It's built in the quiet, simmering ones. The looks, the pauses, the tension you don't rush to relieve. That's where desire becomes obsession. That's where seduction becomes unforgettable. Being predictably sweet or consistently serious might win someone's affection, but it won't keep their desire burning. What keeps a man mentally engaged and sexually intrigued is unpredictability. The moment he thinks he has you completely figured out, the mystery fades, and with it, the edge of desire. That's why unpredictably playful energy is so powerful. When you can be warm one moment and teasing the next, affectionate and then daring, supportive and then challenging, you create a dynamic rhythm that keeps him on his toes. And that rhythm is exactly what keeps the addiction alive. A man wants to feel excited when he interacts with you, not confused or overwhelmed, but stimulated. He wants to feel like every time he talks to you, he's going to get a slightly different version of you, not because you're inconsistent or unstable, but because you're multi-layered and alive. You're not stuck in one mode. You laugh easily, but you're not afraid to throw a playful jab. You show interest, but you're not always available. You're kind, but you know how to tease him, challenge him, flirt with him in a way that makes his heart race. That blend of unpredictability is intoxicating because it feels real, it feels raw, and it makes every interaction feel new. Playfulness is also a form of connection that bypasses logic and hits directly at emotion. When you're playful, you disarm him. You pull him out of his routine, out of his head, and into the moment with you. You become the break from his daily stress. He starts to associate you with fun, lightness, and pleasure, and those emotional associations are powerful. When a man links you to moments of joy and excitement, he doesn't just think about you, he craves, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The magic of playfulness is that it creates contrast. You can be soft and seductive one day, sharp and witty the next. You might send him a sweet message in the morning, then throw him a playful challenge that night. This contrast keeps things alive. It creates a constant sense of discovery, and that's what keeps a man engaged. He doesn't want to be able to predict every move you make. He wants to feel like he's still learning you, still chasing new pieces of who you are, and every time he thinks he's figured you out, you surprise him. Just enough to keep him invested, intrigued, and wanting more. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It means being fully yourself, allowing all your sides to come out. It means not filtering yourself down to what you think he wants. It means letting your silly side, your fiery side, your romantic side, and your bold side all have a place in the way you interact with him. That full spectrum experience is what makes you unforgettable. Because while beauty might catch his eye, it's this unpredictable, vibrant energy that holds his attention and holds it long enough to build true addiction. Most people settle into patterns quickly. They get comfortable, they get repetitive, they get boring. But when you stay tapped into your playful energy, you keep the relationship fresh. You become the adventure, the unexpected moment in his day, the person who challenges him to stay present and awake. And that keeps desire alive. That makes intimacy deeper. That makes him think about you even when he doesn't mean to. It's that sense of never fully knowing what you'll do or say next, but always wanting to find out, that creates the kind of pull he won't be able to shake. There is something undeniably magnetic about a woman who embraces her sensuality without apology. It's not about being loud, overt, or trying to be sexy. It's about owning your presence in a way that says you are completely comfortable in your own skin. When a woman fully inhabits her body, her energy changes. The way she walks, the way she moves her hands, the way she speaks. All of it becomes more intentional, more alluring, more alive. And that energy is what draws a man in. He doesn't just notice her curves or her face. He notices her confidence, her ease, the way she seems to move through the world without needing permission to be herself. Sensuality is different from sexuality. Sexuality is the act. Sensuality is the presence. It's the experience of being in your body, of feeling every moment deeply, and of expressing that feeling without shame. It's in the way you run your fingers through your hair when you're lost in thought. It's in the way you sit with one leg tucked under the other, completely relaxed, owning the space around you. It's in the softness of your voice when you lean in to tell him something personal. These small moments create a powerful impression. They tell him you are someone who doesn't hide, someone who isn't afraid to be seen, not just physically, but emotionally and energetically. When a woman embraces her sensuality, she's not trying to be anything other than who she is. That's what makes it so attractive. It's not a performance. It's not a trick. It's a deep connection to her body, her emotions, and her desires. That level of authenticity is rare, and it's exactly what makes it unforgettable. A man doesn't just see her, he feels her. And that feeling stays with him. It's not about being sexual in every interaction. It's about showing up fully, being present, and expressing yourself freely, whether through laughter, touch, movement, or conversation. Men are incredibly responsive to energy. They may not always be able to explain it, but they can feel when a woman is holding back and when she's completely open. A woman who is in touch with her sensuality creates a kind of magnetic field around her. She doesn't have to speak loudly or dress provocatively. She could be in jeans and a simple t-shirt, but the way she carries herself makes her stand out. There's a softness and a strength in her presence that commands attention without demanding it. That kind of woman doesn't chase attraction, she is attraction. Another powerful aspect of unapologetic sensuality is the message it sends, that you are not waiting for someone else to validate you. You're not looking for a man to tell you you're desirable. You already know you are. You already feel it, and that certainty is what becomes irresistible. It removes pressure from the man and invites him into a space where connection, not performance, becomes the focus. That kind of environment allows intimacy to deepen naturally without fear or pretense. A man wants to feel a woman's passion, not just in the bedroom, but in how she lives, how she expresses herself, how she connects. When a woman lets herself feel deeply and express those feelings physically, whether it's the way she dances, the way she hugs, or even how she listens, it creates a sense of intimacy that's hard to find elsewhere. It makes a man want to experience her more, to understand her more, to feel that energy again and again. That's the kind of presence that lingers in his mind. Not just because of what she did, but because of who she allowed herself to be in every moment. When you build your own life, goals, and passions outside of a relationship, you become far more attractive in a man's eyes. Men are drawn to women who are not just waiting for love to complete them, but who are already living a full, meaningful life. A woman with a strong sense of identity, purpose, and independence radiates a kind of power that's hard to resist. She's not chasing love, she's attracting it. She doesn't need constant attention to feel validated because her sense of self-worth doesn't depend on someone else's approval. That energy is magnetic because it creates a natural balance between closeness and freedom, connection and individuality. When a man sees that you have your own dreams, your own schedule, your own joy, it challenges him. It tells him that if he wants to be a part of your life, he needs to bring value, not distractions. You're not looking for someone to rescue you or complete you. You've already built a foundation, and you're inviting someone in only if they enhance what's already there. That approach shifts the dynamic. Instead of trying to impress or win someone over, you're simply being yourself and letting your lifestyle speak for you. That authenticity becomes incredibly attractive because it's rare and refreshing. Living a full life also makes you less emotionally dependent, and that gives a man the space to crave you. When he sees that your happiness isn't tied to him, it creates a healthy kind of tension. He knows that being with you is a privilege, not a necessity. He knows you'll be fine without him, which makes him want to be around you even more. This kind of independence doesn't push men away, it draws them in. It tells them you're not a puzzle to fix or a void to fill. You're a complete person who's choosing to share herself with him. And that choice holds weight. Being busy with your own purpose also prevents you from falling into the trap of overgiving or losing yourself in a relationship. A lot of women think that being everything for a man, being available 24/7, making him the center of their world, is how they'll win his heart. but it often has the opposite effect. It removes the challenge. It removes the spark. Men, like anyone, are drawn to mystery and motion. When you have things going on, projects, passions, hobbies, friendships, you stay in motion. You remain interesting. You have stories to tell, things to share, energy to give. Not because you're trying to earn love, but because you're living. That energy, the one that comes from living your truth, from staying focused on your goals, from evolving every day, is addictive in itself. It makes him see you as not just a partner, but a force. Someone he admires, someone he learns from, someone who challenges him to grow too. And when a man connects with a woman like that, the desire doesn't fade after the honeymoon phase, it deepens. Because he's not just drawn to your body or your beauty, he's drawn to your life. He wants to be part of the world you've created, the passion you carry, the future you're building. Your independence becomes the flame that keeps the connection burning. It makes him curious, engaged, and willing to put in the effort to be part of your orbit. It tells him that love with you isn't about merging into one person. It's about growing alongside each other with mutual respect and shared desire. That balance, that freedom, that fullness of life, that's what keeps a man coming back for more. That's what keeps the attraction alive long after the first touch. Because he doesn't just want to be with you, he wants to be worthy of the world you've created for yourself. When it comes to making a man sexually addicted to you, it's never just about physical attraction. It's about energy, presence, and emotional impact. It's the confidence you carry, the mystery you maintain, the playful tension you create, and the sensuality you express unapologetically. It's how you build deep desire, not by giving everything away, but by being layered, unpredictable, and emotionally grounded. Most of all, it's about living a full, independent life that doesn't revolve around him, but that invites him into something magnetic and meaningful. When you show up as a complete woman, secure in your worth, fully in your body, and clear in your boundaries, you become the one he can't stop thinking about. Not because you try to control his desire, but because you spark something in him that no one else could.